What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video. Now today, the Browns have concluded the 2023 NFL draft, and we finally know what players we're going to draft. I know you guys haven't seen my face in a minute. I didn't really want to drop a mock draft and speculate because, you know, anything can happen, and we are picking from the third round, so, I mean, we pretty much don't have a high-end draft like somebody, like, you know, all the other teams that didn't trade for a quarterback. But we still came away with a pretty solid draft. Today we're going to be talking about Cam Mitchell and what bringing Cam Mitchell on the Browns means for our DB room. Now, Cam Mitchell, as you guys don't know, he played with him and Greg Newsome, the other cornerback that plays outside on the Browns. They're best buds, so, you know, it was a good team. Cam bringing in Greg and Cam. I'm got to get used to saying that. Now, Cam Mitchell is 5'11", 191 pounds. He's a slot corner, good run defender, from what I'm told. His weaknesses is fluidity. Like, you know, you got to be able to deal with more like, you know, like a Cooper Kupp type of guy. He probably wouldn't be able to guard him or somebody like that. But he's a slot corner. Like, you know, slot corner is more of a linebacker position, more of a, like, you know, a smaller linebacker more than it's an actual corner position. You know, people read cornerback and think corner, but in reality, you're doing a lot of stuff like checking a run fits and having to be aggressive and man up with tight ends and not block, but, you know, run defense rather than the outside corners kind of just playing boundary. Now, with bringing a slot corner with a 5th round pick, now when you're picking a slot, you don't go and pick a slot in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Almost like how, you know, don't ever see running backs picked that high unless it's like a generational talent like Bijan Robinson. But you usually go and pick a slot in between undrafted free agency and the 3rd round. The Browns went and got him in the 5th round, which is a good, solid pickup. Now, with bringing in a slot corner that high in the 5th round, what does that mean for our DB room? It probably means that we're going to have a massive cornerback battle in camp. Now, with Greg going into his 3rd year, he's going to be battling, so it's pretty good. It's going to be between Greg and Emerson. There are rumors that people believe that Emerson has already passed Greg, but I don't know. We're going to find out a lot about this DB room because if Emerson and Greg are playing at an elite level, that might intrigue them to trade Denzel Ward. Or, you know, Greg can be put on the bench and kind of put into like a greedy role. Or Emerson can be put on the bench and put into like a greedy role. So we're going to see. You know, we got Ward, Newsome, Emerson. We got my boy A.J. Green to back them up. And we got Cam Mitchell out there to play slot. So one of those guys out of Mitchell or Emerson, well, Mitchell's going to come off the bench, but one of those guys out of Newsome or Martin, they're going to come off the bench. So, and I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's just, it's the way you deliver it to your cornerback room. I feel like last year when people say, oh, hey, go play slot corner, Newsome was almost like, hey, yeah, I'll take some snaps at slot. But they turned him into a slot corner, and he clearly didn't want to be one, which led to all the drama and backlash that came from that. But we got a new defensive coordinator, so hopefully the way we like relay messages over and roles to our players get addressed a little bit better. We always had a problem with that as Browns, so hopefully we get it fixed. And Andrew Berry and Kevin something starting to learn, like, hey, we kind of struggle at this because Baker complained about his role, Jarvis, Odell, Greg, Jadavion. Like, they might have went about it kind of like a diva or, you know. But it all had the same kind of message that I felt like I was going to be doing this, and you guys got me doing this. And that's been a consistent flaw with our Browns and our management. So hopefully that's something that they could get done now. Now, drop your comment down below. Who do you think is going to win that cornerback battle? Now, you know, a lot of people like Emerson just because he is physical at the point. And, you know, Emerson was the rookie, so Emerson was like the new shiny toy, and we kind of forgot how good Greg Newsome is. But we shall see. We shall see. I feel like it's going to be very interesting. It may be games now. It may be games where Ward follows, and then Emerson and Greg take the other two. Like, say when you play like the team like the Bengals, I feel like we got perfect matchups in that scenario because you could put Ward on Chase, Emerson on T, and you could put Boyd, throw Greg Newsome on him. I'm pretty comfortable with that, you know? You could put one safety over the top just to help Ward out because, it is Jamar Chase, or to help T or whatever. But you're not overcompensating. I feel comfortable leaving those guys in man and letting your rushers and linebackers get after the quarterback. Now, you guys tell me down below how y'all feel about that. I feel like that is an interesting way to use them, especially against certain teams like, like the Buccaneers, for example. A guy like Martin Emerson did really well, or like the Chargers. A guard like Martin Emerson did really well on Mike Williams, on Mike Evans. He gave those guys problems. Now, but if they go and get Denzel Ward might be a better corner, but it's a bad matchup for Ward because he's not that big of a guy. So Denzel Ward might struggle against those bigger guys where Martin will pretty much handle it. But then those faster guys like a Tyreek Hill, nobody can check Tyreek Hill, but like a Tyreek Hill, like a McCole Hardman, like Martin Emerson might have a problem with that type of guy because he'll get burnt. So, and then Greg is more of like a patient receiver. I feel like Greg did a good job on Chase as well. Greg is almost like a hybrid. He's not as aggressive as Emerson, but he isn't as small as Ward. So Greg is like the hybrid in the middle. But this camp battle is going to be great. Like, we're going to figure out who's the top 3 corners in the room. And it's going to be a defined list, and we're going to see how it works. Now, Emerson, I think he played all games last year. But Ward does have injury problems. And Greg came from having injury problems. So anytime one of those guys could, knock on wood, that never happens, but can, stub a toe, and now that other guy is actually starting in his position, and then we still got A.J. Green, who I really like as a rotational corner piece. So I know that might seem like a lot coming from just getting a 5th-round pick, but us solidifying who we want playing slot corner makes the other 2 positions. Because, it's 3 good corners and 2 only could get starting spots. So, unless it's games like, we do play the Bengals 3 times a year. We do play Baltimore now, and that has Bateman, Odell, and Zay Flowers if they're healthy. And then we do play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is more like a 2-deep team. They got Pickens, they got Johnson, and then they got Allen Robinson. So we do kind of play a little bit of teams like that. I'll have to go through our opponents to kind of get up the matchups. Now, the schedules do drop for the Browns on May 11th. Around that time, we start figuring out, when we play and who we play. I know with Lamar and Aaron Rodgers coming too, we play the Jets and the Ravens, and they should probably lead in primetime games along with the Chiefs, Bengals, and Chargers. The Browns will probably get like 3, maybe 4. I don't know. We played kind of bad in the primetime games we had last year. So, you guys comment down below what you think could end up happening. As long as Cam progressive and we got a really good DB room. So, and then it's nothing to go get an undrafted free agent slot corner, because that's where you usually get a slot corner. A guy that likes to do the dirty work. A slot corner is almost like a Patrick Beverly, in a basketball terminology, like a Patrick Beverly mindset type of guy, like a Draymond Green. That's the type of guy, if you guys watch basketball, that's the type of guy that, hey, you want that guy's mental for a slot corner. Because they're, that's like a dog mentality. Like putting a boundary receiver is almost like a star player. You're a boundary receiver and you're a top boundary receiver. You're one of the best players in the NFL. Rather than like with a slot corner, it's kind of like almost like how who did we have? Ty Hill or not Ty Hill? I think his last name was Hill, but that guy, he was really good. He was a slot corner for us. He plays for the Rams now, but obviously when he played for the Browns, he had an up and down season, just like anybody that comes to our offense or our defense go. But we pretty much should solidify it. Now I do want us to bring in another safety. But, we have Delpit, Juan, Emerson, Ward, Newsome, JOK, Walker, probably bring in another linebacker. And I think we'd be all right. So you guys comment down below how you'll feel about our secondary. I feel like we have all the capability of the world to be a top 10 secondary if we have 3 top 25 corners. But comment down below. It's your boy Will. We about to drop this next video. I got my notes down here. I'm probably about to do the next video on either Tillman or our offensive line. Y'all hit that sub button. Videos every other day. That's right.